Hey Calvary, I'm John Waller. Thanks again for joining our web service today. Today's web service is one for the music lovers. Some of you may remember a couple years ago, our good friend Sam Lee brought his group, the True Worshipers 12, to give a concert here at Calvary Baptist Church, a concert of jazz hymns. It's a band mostly made up of Korean and Korean American jazz musicians, and boy was it a great night. Well, good news, we filmed it. We recorded that concert, and we've only released a couple clips to this day. Until now, we are debuting a new clip never before seen from that concert of On Christ the Solid Rock I Stand, followed by a message from our pastor. But first, you're in for another musical treat from our own Candace Bishop as she sings He Wants It All with some familiar faces from the Calvary Band. Enjoy. Have a great week.
There's a voice that cries out in the silence, searching for a heart that will love him, and longing for a child that will give him their own, give it all. He wants it all. And there's a God that walks over the earth. He's searching for a heart that is desperate, longing for a child that will give him their all, give it all. He wants it all. And he says, love me with your whole heart. He wants it all today. Serve me with your life now. He wants it all today. Bow down, let go of your idols. He wants it all today. He wants it all today. He wants it all today. He wants it all. And there's a God that walks over the earth. He's searching for a heart that is desperate and longing for a child that will give him their all, give it all. He wants it all. And he says, love me with your whole heart. He wants it all today. Serve me with your life now. He wants it all today. Bow down, let go of your idols. He wants it all today. He wants it all today. He wants it all today. He wants it all. All of you, he wants it all today. All of you, wants it all today.
question for you. What causes us from casually noticing our days to greatly noticing our days? What I'm trying to say is, how do we move from generally living day by day to really moving to a place where we savor our days? I think that part of the answer is age, or our stage of life. When we look at our days as we get older, we become more contemplative. Now, when we're young, we look at our days and we go full steam ahead. Perhaps because there's some event that we're looking forward to, perhaps a concert or a vacation. And so we hurry our days along because we want to get to that moment in our life. But then we come to a place where we are more contemplative about our days. It could be, I don't mean to sound morbid, but maybe because we come to a place where we understand that we have more days behind us than ahead of us. And so we gradually come to the realization that we need to value and savor each of our days. Nevertheless, don't let it depress you if you think that you have more days behind you than ahead of you, but use it as a motivation to seize the day. After all, if you're hearing this message, it means that you're still alive and that you still have some days ahead of you. So savor the days. Capitalize on the time that you have left day by day. The words to the song Day by Day were written in 1865 by Carolina Sandell. And she wrote them after witnessing the death of her father by drowning. She was very close to her father, and that was a significant event in her life, understandably so. And so her words remind us that day by day and with each passing moment, strength we can find to meet our trials here. Trusting in our Father's wise bestowment, we have no cause for worry or for fear. Sandell came to realize that joy can be found even after tragedy, and after toil, there can still be found peace and rest day by day. Actually, there are several songs that deal with the significance of each day. In 1971, the musical Godspell made famous another song called Day by Day. And though you may not have seen the musical or agreed with the musical, still, what Christ follower can disagree with the words of the song? Here are some of the words. It says, day by day, O dear Lord, three things I pray: to see thee more clearly, to love thee more dearly, and to follow thee more nearly. Day by day. In 1976, the late Andre Crouch capitalized on this idea of days when he wrote the song, This Is Another Day. Some of the words are as follows: this is another day that the Lord has kept me. He kept me from all evil with my mind stayed on him, and I know he's going to keep me until he returns again. And by the way, not to be missed in this discussion of days are the apostles themselves. Peter says that 1,000 years with the Lord are like one day. But of even greater significance are the words of Paul. Paul writes in Romans chapter 14, he says that one person esteems one day as better than another, while another esteems all days alike. They just let the days pass by. Nevertheless, he draws a distinction, writing that the one who observes the day observes it in honor of the Lord. Paul makes note of the fact that the person who simply allows the days to pass by and doesn't give them much thought may also be the person who doesn't give much significance to the Lord in their life. They don't give thanks to the Lord for each new day. But then Paul makes an important connection. He ties the significance of honoring the Lord with our days with the significance of honoring the Lord both with life and death. Here's what he writes. He says, for none of us lives to himself, and none of us dies to himself. For if we live to the Lord. And if we die to the Lord. So then, whether we live or whether we die, we are the Lord's. Now, earlier I asked, what is it that causes us to move from casually observing the day to savoring each day and noticing each day and giving careful thought to our days, to seizing the day. And yes, stage of life has something to do with it, but I'd like to suggest to you that if we are followers of Christ, if we are people of faith, we should look at our days differently. We should seize the day. We should recognize that each day is a day that should be dedicated unto the Lord, so that day by day, whether we live or whether we die, we are committing our days to the Lord. The psalmist says that we need God to teach us to number our days. And that's because we realize that each day is valuable. So, as you live out your days, and until the time that your days on this planet are over, let's live our days as unto the Lord, recognizing this fact that when life is over on this planet, our days shall continue with Him in glory. Amen. Amen.